What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 50K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
Songs in the form of features on Camila Cabello's new album, See. Now, after Drake just released 2 new songs in the form of features on Camila Cabello's new album, CXOXO, I think it's safe to say that the cycle is now complete. And after an array of weird songs that displayed to us that Drake is having an identity crisis, he finally found some sort of footing to stand on musically at the moment, but this is no longer by being one of the most overly confident rappers that we have ever seen, like before the Kendrick beef, but it's now by just being a full-on pop star. And after Kendrick Lamar clearly laid out that he likes Drake with the melodies and not when he acts tough on Euphoria. If the embarrassing moments of Wagwan Delilah and You My Everything were not damaging enough in terms of cementing Drake's defeat and just showing the world how quickly the wrath of Kendrick Lamar can make somebody go from being as cocky to as lost as ever, this moment will cement everything, because between the way that Drake has come back outside in preparation for these new tracks, to ultimately how they will end up being his biggest moments in this post-beef era of his career and solidify his reputation in this current moment. All in all, in a time where Kendrick Lamar is having another victory lap off the momentum of his pop-out concert and Not Like Us video shoot.
Okay, we just did the video for that one.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so I like Drake with his earlier songs. I don't know the songs that he just came out with. I haven't listened to them. So if y'all let us know y'all thoughts on those songs. But I like Drake with the melodies. I hate to say that phrase.
It sounds
because I don't want to be, you know.
Yeah, it sounds how it sounds.
Right, but I liked him with those.
Drake does have some nice hits, man. You can't go wrong with that. But since when do Drake make a track that don't come back around full circle where all the listeners can get involved in? This that he was speaking of earlier with the artist that he just did a track with. Yeah, we didn't get it on the side of the poll.
Oh, you mean like it wasn't as popular?
Maybe it wasn't as popular to us.
Like we didn't get
We're gonna roast you now. If you put a track out and it ain't hitting, we're gonna be like, it's done with. We don't hear it no more. Take it off the radio.
Yeah.
But obviously he has listeners who can vibe with it, so he went with probably a different crowd.
Oh.
Yeah,
because I
didn't know he was still releasing after this Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? It really sounded like they swooped him under his foot. Like,
you so wrong for that.
I'm not really trying to sound anywhere shady when it comes to this stuff. I'm just looking at the results that they're giving, these receipts, and I mean Drake has been quiet since then. Kendrick is popping. He's going crazy.
Yeah.
Hey.
This moment for Drake, while despite making more noise for him than anything else has, it's not necessarily helping his case. Now, before we can get into these new tracks from Drake and what they are doing on impact, we need to quickly look at how Drake has responded to Kendrick Lamar's pop-out concert, which did immortalize that Kendrick is the clear winner of this beef, as the entire rap game celebrated him like few other rappers ever have been while they can still smell their flowers. And when it comes to how Drake has responded, it's clear that this massive moment struck a nerve with him, because from the cryptic story posts that have been trying to create some sort of buzz around his name despite the barrage of rappers we just found out absolutely despise him, it's clear that with weird story post after weird story post, Drake has been trying to get any sort of point on the board that he can through any means possible right now, and even further than just some of the cringy selfies and random pictures that are hinting at something. What really turned a lot of eyes was when Drake voted on a poll this week about which diss tracks were the best during the feud between him and Kendrick, and according to the user's poll, who was called the Good Rap Page, which shout out to him, Drake voted for Not Like Us, but beyond Drake actually admitting defeat on an Instagram poll. At the end of the day, what matters most and what will be judged the most importantly is what goes on behind the microphone. So with these 2 new songs, after a period where Kendrick Lamar just united...
Before we go into the songs, let's speak about him voting Not Like Us.
Yeah.
You think he understood the message?
Either that or he just being delusional. I mean, I wouldn't like he's being petty. You know what I'm saying? I think he's just kind of keeping his name floating. Because it can knock him off the rocket. Like, this can all just...
Not Like Us was...
Go straight, fall left with everything and be like, I'm going to just sit back and let this die down. But how long do you have to wait? And I think that's what a lot of careers break. They try to play in the shadows and let it all die down. And next thing you know, they try to pop out afterwards. It's like, oh, no. You can't do that now.
How do you see the music industry moving forward after this, especially knowing that, you know, Rick Ross just got jumped?
Yeah.
How do you see the music industry going forward?
Now I'm glad that you mentioned that. It's gonna be hard for artists around this level, like with let's just say with Drake right now. Drake is probably not gonna be able to go on certain stumping grounds. Period. All because of what happened in Toronto.
Right.
Right? Because if that's the levels y'all want to do that there, then we can play the same game on the other side of the fence. And
right.
9 times out of 10, retaliation is a must when these things are happening. So it's a lot of more street beef now. Yes, you're going to hear subliminals in the music, but it's going to be more street beef because of how they reacted to Ross and how they treated him out there. Which we don't condone in violence at all.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? But
and that's my concern. Because this is a big beef. And when it first happened, I related it to a memory
the West Coast.
The West Coast versus East Coast. I know they're not in the same country. I understand that. But that's my concern. Will the music industry, would society allow it to get to that? I don't want to see what was the end result of the East and West Coast happening again. I don't want that to happen.
Right.
How would we move forward? And I guess that's a question for y'all because we don't know. But of course, we know that this is a beef. We know that, you know, points was made, but we all have a responsibility. Everybody who's commenting on it on social media, fans in the comment section, or people on camera or making statuses.
Yeah,
we're either gonna push it to that level or not push it to that level. You know what I'm saying? So what happened in Canada with Rick Ross and that happening, obviously they were supporting their person. I wouldn't want to see that get any further than that.
Right. Well, now it's like stumping grounds and territories you just can't be around. You know what I'm saying? I think it's all about, you know, proper communication. Like saying the right things and not looking at this as deep as they're creating it to become. Yeah, they're throwing fists now. They had altercations that had happened early while the beast was being released with, I think, somebody's bodyguard or something like that.
Oh, yeah. His house.
Yeah, the house. So it's like, how serious do they want this stuff to go? It's all about communication. Like, what words are we really giving each other? Because that's where the lines start to really draw.
Right.
Like, verbal disrespect, back and forth, or saying something in a way to be like, yeah, bro, this is trash. Y'all lost. It's not what it seemed to come off to be.
Or will he reinvent himself and go back to the old Drake that we all, you know, was introduced to after Jimmy? I like everything. Everything was a hit. What's the other ones? I can't think of that right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
What feels like the entire genre behind him and everything he has stood for this year in hip-hop. How does Drake respond? Does he show that despite what feels like a genre and reputation that is collapsing more and more with every single moment, that he is still not going to go down without a fight? Or does he only manage to let everything continue to crumble on him even more, and in typical Drake fashion in this era? You probably guessed it, he is only further destroying his credibility within the hip-hop space because this song is just proving that everything Kendrick Lamar did against him worked. And he really got Drake to step out of the hip-hop space as a whole for the time being. And now if Drake maybe came with a melodically driven hit song that was as infectious as something like One Dance, maybe the conversation could start to shift, and Drake could really set the precedent that despite getting a loss handed to him, he can still release undeniable hits that you cannot deny their greatness.
And I think that's a lot of saving grace. Artists who are taking the back enders and really getting beat up on it gotta come with a banger. They don't come out with a banger and it's like 9 times out of 10 you get lost. You know what I'm saying? Out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
Drake really had like the radios wrapped around his finger.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a track that was being played that didn't sort of had like a Drake vibe on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not vibe. I'm gonna say his voice. I'm just sticking to that. He was on tracks.
I'm trying to think of that song that when they all came out as Young Cash Money. What's that the name? Young Cash Money? When they came out with Lil Chucky, Tyga, Nicki. I forgot the name of that song. When they all had a verse on it.
Yeah. I remember that one.
I wouldn't mind if he gave us that vibe again, you know?
I mean, you just need a track that's gonna make sense, but his first 2 singles he just came out with prior to what just happened did not come to us because we didn't hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. But his reputation, I mean.
Look like he's on a different road.
Kendrick lie?
Look like he's on a different road.
That's a tough position to be in. Thank the Lord. Listen,
Bruh.
I don't know.
Both of these tracks fall short of any of these expectations, and in all honesty, these songs aren't just a miss, but they sound like cuts that are serving as a direct extension from Drake's most polarizing and panned album, which was, of course, Honestly Nevermind. So with the major song in this bunch, which is titled Hot Uptown, this is the cut that was designed to be the massive hit with Drake and Camila Cabello going back and forth over an up-tempo dance beat, and while in a vacuum, this is a decent track that you can throw on and it will definitely give you some good vibes. This song offers absolutely nothing at all that you'd call genuinely special and just gets by from doing the absolute bare minimum and playing to the most simple of conventions when it comes to what makes a palatable song to throw on the radio, a speaker, or in a clothing store, and if this is the bar, then great, Drake succeeded. But if this song is trying to be a statement and even an answer back to Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, which has become the song of the summer at this point, and if this track is trying to remind us not just to
listen.
I wouldn't go running in a barn that's on foot of fire. It's just gotta watch that thing slowly burn down.
If he trying to come back to that, he gotta come back a little harder.
I mean, yeah, when you mad, you salty, bro. That's still some little. You want a little punch or two out there every once in a while, but
listen, we're gonna be playing Not Like Us at the family reunion in 2058.
Yeah, 2058. Okay.
He gotta come back a little harder.
Okay. I'm saying he gonna have to just come out with something that just clears his name in a way that he can just say, yeah, y'all can love on me again like this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know where this is gonna go. I really don't.
Throwing punches, little subliminals, it's not gonna fly.
Like, I'm thinking about the BET Awards. I'm thinking about.
Like, how you walk back in rooms after this?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, how you collab after this?
I don't want to be watching a documentary in about 10 years on how it ended. Like, a bad way of how it ended.
Putting his whole career out crazy like that.
I remember at one point, after, the ending of the West and East, I remember at one point, I would still be in tears over Tupac's death.
Yeah.
Biggie death.
Heard that.
And even watching a little series that they tried to solve the case. It was a fictional, how they tried to solve it. Like, I still felt some things, and I was younger, during that time. So, yeah, right, I don't want it to end that way. Y'all can say what y'all want. At the end of the day, I am who I am, and I'm a peacemaker.
Gotta respect that.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know you do.
Audiences, but to the entire hip-hop community especially, that Drake really is this undeniable force that should be in the conversation with somebody like Kendrick at all. Unless we determine greatness by whose music would play the best at Target, this song fails on all fronts, and with the other cut ugly. This is nothing but an interlude from Drake, which just features his whining singing, which has him talking about the same old tired topics about how he loves a girl, she doesn't love him back, and that it is making this almost 40-year-old man sad that he can't find something within these superficial relationships. And again, with this being the best that you have to offer at this moment in time, especially after you were just called out for being so immature despite your age. It really just proves that Kendrick never has to do anything in this beef again if he does not want to, and that he needs to be dismissed from the conversation about what is going on with Drake as a whole right now, because Drake is bringing all of these problems onto himself as he is trying to get away with the absolute bare minimum, and is moving in directions that are only further validating the biggest disses that Kendrick threw his way. When we look at it from this angle, in all honesty, it's a perfect fit that Drake decided to drop off not one but two features on this very album, because just like Camila Cabello, Drake is an artist who is trying to desperately search for an identity at the moment, and both are just failing to capture any of the magic that their older music had to their respective audiences as they step further and further away from what made them special in the first place. And now, while this is only further dampering Drake's abysmal musical batting average this year with a few songs that just sound like a step up from the just laughable majority of cuts on Honestly Nevermind, the timing of a song coming out like this right now is horrible, and the optics of it all is just terrible, because after Kendrick Lamar showed off that he is the sheer embodiment of hip-hop as he brought unification into the genre like few other rappers ever had, Drake is running away from rap as a whole and is now just hopping on generic trends with pop artists? I mean, when we look at all of this in conjunction, with each passing week, moments like these are only making Kendrick's words age better and are really turning a song like Euphoria into this immortal piece of music that, beyond being one of the best rapping displays the genre has seen in a very long time, served as this breakdown of Drake that's only seeming to foreshadow more and more of his failures in ways that we have never seen before. Now, what I honestly think is most interesting about this entire song is what it represents for the direction Drake is going to be going in for the rest of this summer. Because with the way he has been moving online, to the way it's so clear that he's still trying to fight back with Kendrick in his own sad ways. I think it's inevitable that he will only release more new music from here, but I think these songs are proof that at least Drake is going to be staying away from rap for some time, and with everything he has been leaning into, I'm going to make a prediction that we are going to end up getting another project like Drake's Honestly Nevermind, and maybe even a full-fledged sequel, which his entire purpose will be to shift the entire narrative around him in this moment and give people those summer vibes that may help them forget about how scathing Not Like Us is. But if this project is anything like these songs, I don't think this, or really any project from Drake, will do anything right now to help him, and while if he was smart, he would have just went into hiding. It's clear that this spiraling individual who could not stay out of the limelight because his whole worth seems to be based off optics and the impressions of others will only continue to risk hurting his reputation more and more instead of taking time to do the one thing that may just help him out in the long run: sitting down and reflecting. So let me know, what do you think of these new records in the never-ending downfall of Drake, and how do you think they compare to everything he's been up to, and do you think they help him any bit? I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you want to see how Kendrick Lamar just saved West Coast hip-hop, check out the suggested video.
Alright, we're going to stop it right there. I had called them singles, but there was features that he did on someone else's album, that lady. Again, I didn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say whether he just did a great number on that one, and it's one of those tracks that can do numbers. It wasn't on a trending page that I've seen, so I'm like...
We're not on that side of the algorithm.
Yeah, I'm looking, I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah. Trying to see where he at, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel I'm not no expert on what to do, but I mean, people want to say, oh, y'all are just biased because y'all like Kendrick. No. I mean,
I want to see Drake still,
yeah,
you know, I guess you could say live his best life. Like, even though this was a beef, I don't want to see someone actually get hurt.
Right. Change your ways, though, because those allegations, baby, them allegations was heavy.
Oh, yeah. See, now I just had a brain fart. You can't forget about the allegations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you really, like, hold on to the notes that was being given and the receipts that was being given, then you kind of, like, paint the picture of an individual. It's like,
they had a lot
you got to
of
do better. You got to do better at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I don't know what he's supposed to do. I mean, but people wasn't giving no grace during the Drake versus Meek Mill beef. So...
But there wasn't a track that aged like this, though. What Kendrick did is got the water going hecka slow on Drake's ankles and up and rising. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's slowly feeling the pressure of the water going up and up. Kendrick is making music videos. He just killed it on stage for Juneteenth. Yeah. People are singing it at every location. Right. It's playing and being played everywhere, man. Ross was just fighting to the song. So it's like, now it became a fight track. We going crazy. It's everywhere. So it's like,
I'm telling you, at 2058, in 2058, when I put on that, I don't know what we're going to have back then. I mean, well, up then. What do you say? In those days. In the future. I don't know, but when I put that on, how old we going to be? We're going to be older. Yeah. And we all going to be jamming. Oh, that's my track. Yeah.
Remember that time? You don't know nothing about this.
Right. Tell the kids all about it.
Right.
At that time.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.